We're just now in a month into statewide precautionary measures to flatten the COVID-19 curve, and yet we could already be on the cusp of returning to normalcy. With some of those first steps here in Texas, as well as an outlook on the struggling oil industry, here's KXAN Sally Hernandez along with the Texas Tribune's Alana Rocha.
Governor Greg Abbott recently lifted a ban on elective surgeries, Alana, as long as they meet certain criteria. Nearly all abortions were banned under his original order. So how does Abbott's most recent decision impact that?
Yeah, well, basically he said that, those surgeries, procedures that aren't medically necessary can resume, providing that, they don't use a lot, if any, of the scarce personal protective equipment that the state and medical professionals have tried to protect, and also if they leave beds open for potential coronavirus patients. Of course, we know few abortions happen in hospitals where you're seeing the COVID patients. So yeah, essentially abortions resumed yesterday, and the state didn't really challenge it as far as I guess agreeing that their order does apply to that resuming.
Right. Let's talk about oil prices. They went below zero this week. This was historic.
Yeah.
How does this impact the state's economy here?
Well, it's not we are an oil-rich state, but it's not the main revenue source. Of course, sales tax is. Of course, that's taking a hit right now, given essential shutdown of the economy. But yeah, you have Texans in Congress and lawmakers in other oil-rich states looking to see how they can help the oil industry here in the U.S. One way, temporary restrictions on royalty payments. That's the money paid to landowners for use of minerals on their property. So maybe suspending that for a bit. Also, many have signed on to the idea of spending $3 billion to buy up the low price of U.S. oil and stock our petroleum reserves. So not only help us, in the long run, but also give the industry some money right now.
Let's talk a little bit more about money. What about the much lower sales tax revenue, the impact that the economic turmoil on the state's plan to spend that money?
Yeah, it's all intertwined. And Comptroller Glenn Hager, the state's accountant, essentially has said to lawmakers and said publicly recently that he's expecting to cut the revenue estimate. That's the forecast, the number that lawmakers know money they have to work with for the coming session, and of course to even get through this budget year, that he's likely to cut that by billions this summer. What that means, for schools and different things like that, we have a complete write-up from Juan Pablo Garnap on our website right now, texastribune.org.
Okay, investigators here at KXAN have been focusing on a lot of questions from people wondering, if I don't have enough money to pay the rent this month, am I going to be evicted? Just yesterday, we reported that some local renters might be protected from eviction notices until late August. But how do you even find out if you're protected?
Yeah, the National Low-Income Housing Coalition launched a database this week. So people can search. They can enter their address and see if they're in a property that's 5 units or more and their address is on there, that they are protected under a federal moratorium of evictions, which could get them to mid to late August. If your property is not on there, if you're in a smaller unit, you can look on property records, see who exactly holds your property's mortgage. You can also ask your landlord. And there are different protections at city and state levels right now, so people aren't pushed out on the streets if they can't make rent.
Let's make sure that that does not happen. Okay, Alana, thank you so much for that.
Thank you.